Thursday night's high stakes. The Bulldogs prepare for GWS. Giant star Toby Greene joins us on Game Eve.
Chasing Jack. Could a famous Blues name become a magpie? Craig McRae on the pitch.
And Simmo and Horse put to work. How to stop momentum from the coach's box when it's spiralling out of control on field.
We've talked about is step into it, embrace all of it.
Get in the room and fix it. It's unedifying for a senior coach to do that. They're on the side of caution with the brain. Take the man off. They played the best footy I've ever seen at the start of the season. And if you'd said Brisbane lift the cup, I would have said, of course they do.
It's the stuff that legends are made of.
What is holding the ball? I don't think I could answer it clearly right now.
I could do something wrong, you know, and I need to go. And the board sacks me.
The fans love it, and with no fans, no 360, right?
Round 21 is upon us. Massive Thursday night, massive Friday night, massive Saturday night games. Late change, AFL 360 desk out Waitley in Simpson, who has got a career in front of him. There's no question about it.
What's going on with Waitley? That's the real
Don't worry
question.
about Waitley.
He's still in Disneyland.
Flying in here and said, let me loose on this. The best lead-up we've had in AFL 360 all year. You get a bit touch nervous at the intro.
Well, it's a late call-up.
I know it's a late
not natural
call-up,
to me.
but you sounded natural to me. But then you said to Robbie, give me that bit of paper I just scrunched up and throw back. It's got all my notes.
Then there
was a panic.
It was one gag that I've already used, so run out of material.
It's very nice to see us. Jared, we hope you're feeling better. The throat's resting up and that you'll be calling for us over the weekend because there's big games of footy ahead of us. We've got a big show ahead of us as well. Just so has it that the West Australian, the front page and the back page has arrived when you're in the host seat. So
I didn't bring this in, by the way.
This has gone beautifully for us.
Yeah.
Is this the front or the back? Simmo in Coach Talks at the back page, former West Coast leader, weighing up football return, and I just couldn't believe my luck when you're sitting down right next to me. Amongst other things, it says, you've parted ways. He understands the 2018 Premiership grade has been in casual talks with at least one Victorian club.
What's casual talks, mate?
Don't play funny buggers with me. Who is it?
The only thing they got right there is Simmo, I think, because I haven't spoken to anyone. I haven't moved to Melbourne.
Right. You said you've moved back.
Yeah. Must admit, it's slow news day.
Right. Okay. I know if Jared was here, you might be able to push him around.
There's nothing to probe.
I'm going to probe.
Okay.
All right. So have you been in casual talks with one Victorian or more?
I haven't. No, I haven't. No, it's unfortunately there's not a lot of fact to that. But okay. I can't. What I have learnt with that paper in particular, if you respond, there'll be another one, and there'll be another one. But
you don't need to pick a fight with them. But it is that time of the year when your name and others will be bandied around. Is there any interest whatsoever? I'm going to ask. Is there any interest whatsoever?
Not at the moment. No. I think
that's qualified at the moment, which is fair.
Yeah, I'm still learning a lot of this stuff, to be honest, and what it looks like. It feels pretty soon to be out of the game, and Horse is even later. So, I'm sort of enjoying this year for what it is, and that'll end in a few weeks, and then, we'll look towards next year when the time's right. But no, it's not... there's no jobs available for a start, and there's no real desire to jump straight back in at the moment either.
No, and look, I'm not trying to trip you up or anything, but it does sound to me like you haven't absolutely put it definitively to bed. No, which is not to say you've been having casual talks with one Victoria club.
No. It's hard to put things to bed like that because it's a bit raw. It's still a bit early. Yeah. So anyone who's got out of the game from a coaching point of view, I always wondered why they say it like I'm saying it now, because you don't want to completely rule things out, but at the moment I'm really happy with what I'm doing. So I suppose
and respect those that are in a job currently, because the names are bandied around and you've been in that position yourself, I guess.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's all part of it. I get all that, and I think trying to be respectful as much as you can. There is a fraternity. They're still connected to a lot of those senior coaches and dealing with what they're dealing with at the moment. I understand what they're going through, and also the successful people as well, what they're dealing with as well.
Fair enough. I won't go any further. Got a big show tonight. Your great mate Horse is going to join us. He'll be filthy.
Why can he be crook?
He wanted a piece of the chair, but couldn't get it. Toby Greene is here, the GWS star, ahead of what's going to be a massive match tomorrow night. Can't wait to have a chat with that young man. He's a good, nice, confident young fella. We've got the teams and a special Hindi preview, which is coming up on Fox. I know you're excited about this.
Yep, maybe they need a special comments spot.
And first crack.
Works.
Well, they can go on first crack with Benjamin, Lee and David and help out as well. But I've met the crew and they're excited about their AFL footy and they're going to be in here and they'll be calling a bit of it as well. So they'll look towards Thursday night. It is going to be absolutely massive, no question about that. These two teams don't get on. But before we get to that, give me a D-Day scenario.
I think it's the Hawks, yeah. And for the ladder predictor people out there, which I've sort of slipped into, if they've got to win one of these games to really buck the trend. And as much as they've had a pretty solid season, I don't think it's been as stellar as last year, but this is one of the games. If they can knock over Adelaide on the road in such a big game, it could set up the whole year. I mean, they're still chasing top 4, let alone top 8. So it's all or nothing really this week.
It's an extraordinary situation where you haven't locked away a position inside the 8. You can still finish with a double chance.
Yeah, I actually heard Lloyd Meek talk about it, and we're still going for top 4. So, you know, there's get to the finals, then chase that nugget as well. So that is the benefit of that ladder at the moment.
Big challenge coming up. They take on the Adelaide Crows. Sam Mitchell spoke this morning.
Oh, it's going to be, it's going to be a great game. It's a great fixturing. I know there's been a bit of talk about that, but Friday night over in Adelaide against, probably the informed team in the competition, and we feel like we're well placed. We're the 1 and 2 pressure teams in the competition, 1 and 2 post clearance contested possession teams in the competition. So there's a lot of good things about this game, and a real opportunity to test ourselves out, and certainly an 8-point game for us. And we've got we've got high aspirations for our season, and games like this is where it's all going to count.
You done your ladder predictor for the rest of the season?
Yeah, we finished top.
So apart from the Dogs D-Day, what's your D-Day?
It's a good sign for the Dogs. They're up and about early. Thanks to Aussie Broadband, I'm going to the Brisbane Lions. So they come here, that could be the game of the year, Saturday night. Take on the Collingwood Football Club at the MCG. They haven't beaten them the last 4 times, Fags, and he's got a little sternness about him, but I think they'll welcome the challenge. They were disappointing last week against Gold Coast. Here's their recent record against the Magpies. So apart from the round 7 clash this year, they've always been pretty tight, but it's big.
They've got a tough run, and that's what happens when you win a flag. You've got to back it up the next year, and some of the teams they're playing weren't finals like Gold Coast now are in finals contention. They're playing them twice as well. So I think they've had the hardest draw in recent history. And the next 3 weeks are pretty big.
If they get there, they're going to be in good nick. No
Absolutely.
problem about it. Let's get to Thursday night footy. It's going to be massive. These two teams, the rivalry is real. I don't think they particularly like each other. And the battle lines have been well and truly drawn.
One thing is to be the best team in the competition, and if you're not, you keep looking at the ladder to think who is and how you're going to get there.
We're really confident at the moment. We're really positive about our game. We know we've still got things to work on to continue to improve, and we need to continue to improve. But all in all, we're pretty happy with the way that our game is.
You and your family must take cover.
There's been some spite in 1 or 2 of those games. Some of the unbelievable games and the battles.
They've got incredible midfielders. They've got a stoppage structure that can really help them score.
It's there as a natural motivator. Ultimately, there's no wriggle room. We need to string them together. Everyone knows that.
Their forward 50 stoppage is elite. Their ability to hunt ground ball and get it going their way is elite. So it's going to be a massive challenge.
Clam up, you can be stifled because of maybe the enormity of the task. That's why it's important not to look too far ahead.
We've prepared really well. We know the threats. It now comes down to a matter of being able to manage them.
High stakes, no question about it. The Bulldogs falter. That is season 2025 over. It's great to welcome a genuine star of this competition in Tom Greene from the Giants in the studio. Great to see you, young Thomas.
Thank you very much for having me, guys.
It's a little unusual, Simmo. This is game eve. How would Dennis Pagan go if he just wandered in and did, a footy show on the night before a big game?
You want to get a kick, son?
Yeah.
That's what he'd be saying.
Oh, I feel the exact same way.
Do you have to get permission?
It's been cleared with the club. They sort of came to me with it. So, I don't think if Kingers wasn't happy with me doing it, I don't think he'd let me be here.
You did dip your toe in the water. You got a little podcast happening and you're no stranger to the media.
Yeah, I don't mind that. Jacob does a lot of the heavy lifting and I'm not too sure anyone actually listens to that podcast, whereas I'm sure there's more people watching tonight. So it is a little bit nerve-wracking still.
Are you a nervous pre-gamer as a rule on a night before a game?
No, I'm pretty relaxed. I don't think about the game too much. I sort of do more of that during the week and then the night before just try and chill out and not do too much.
You've had another pretty solid year. Has the game changed at all since you started? Like inside mid, big body, it was always the fashion to get those type of players in. Has the game moved at all in your eyes or is it still the same?
I think there's still definitely a place for it, and particularly when we get to big matches and finals, I think there's definitely still a place for guys who can win contests. That's what finals effectively comes down to. So there's definitely still space for that, but we see a lot of the more dynamic running halfbacks and mids are having greater and greater influence. So I might be out of a job soon, I guess.
Well, I think Adam's high praise from Adam is you're going okay. I'd say you're going sensational. 2 weeks ago against Essendon, you just ripped the whole thing to shreds. So coming into this, do you feel like you're in good form? Like you feel like you're fighting plenty of footy? This was, albeit against opposition and aren't at their very best, but you can't play much better than this, I don't think.
I think as a collective, we've been in really good form over the last 6 weeks. I mean, 6 in a row is, the sort of form that we'd like to be finding and hopefully continue heading into finals. So that's been really nice, and I feel like I've been able to pretty consistently contribute to that. So it has been a good little patch.
What about your form line as a team? It's like for the second year in a row, you've sort of timed your run well. Is that part of the plan? I could never do that as a coach, by the way. It's like win every week, but it feels like 2 years in a row, you have a bit of a lull during the middle of the year and then you come home strong. Is that part of the plan?
I don't want to say that it's part of the plan to have to win, 6 or 7 games in a row in consecutive seasons to put yourself in that position. We do structure our pre-season in a way that means we are peaking towards September and the final series, but I think going forward, we do need to adjust a little bit because I don't think we want to be having such lulls that we have had the last 2 years at similar periods.
So what turned it around this year? Was it personnel? Because some of the numbers were pretty stark in that mid part of the year, but Callahan coming back into the side, was there anything particular that turned it around, or was it just it's time to go?
I think it's probably a little bit of both. There's definitely some personnel coming back into the side and hitting their straps. But I also think that, as I said, we sort of structure it in a way that we sort of train heavier in the earlier part of the year as well to make sure we're keeping that fitness up as we get to the back end of the year.
You do ladder predictors? You've done all this stuff, worked out where you're finishing or not?
No, I don't have a look at that. I know some people do, but I think at the minute it's just too confusing and it really is so dependent on other results and what's happening around the league. So
teams have dropped for tomorrow night. We're excited about the contest. The Giants and the Bulldogs rivalry is real, of course. So the Bulldogs, no change to the side that did a number on the Bombers last week, and that's no great surprise. Now, you boys have got 3 changes, of course. So there's the no change. Lee Kalir comes in, Harvey Thomas comes in, and Harry Ralston. You've lost Jack Buckley to injury, which is going to be a problem given the forward line that you're playing against. Kelly is a star through the midfield, and your skipper has found himself suspended on a pretty important night.
Yeah, there are some big outs. I mean, as you sort of talked about, those are 3 really quality guys. But I think if you look at the people who are coming in, Lex played some fantastic footy for us throughout this year. So has Harry Ralston. I think he's been a real revelation in the midfield, and it's been great being able to have him in there and work with him. And we know Harvey Thomas was a really good young player, played most games last year and contributed every week. So while it is a bit disappointing to have that quality go out of the side, we also think we've got some guys who are coming in and will play their role really, really well.
Did you talk to Toby? Are you the one that goes, listen, mate, that's not what we do here anymore, or is that no one does that? It doesn't look like he does.
Thomas, this is the question of the night.
Yeah.
So give us the answer.
No, I think... Well, people definitely let him know, as in, we understand. We want Toby to be out there, and I think Toby, part of it as well is Toby would have an understanding as well that he wants to be in this game. Exactly. He is the leader of our football club, and he also wants to be playing in the biggest games for us, so he's disappointed in himself. We'd obviously love to have him out there, but he is also our captain, and he's been a really, really good captain, so we absolutely love running out behind him.
I'd imagine it's the balance, right? So we watch it and we're all fans of the mischievous Toby who's got the glint in the eye. We're not fans of the Toby who, is going to miss this massive game on something where his frustrations get the better of him. And as a young man with leadership aspirations, you've got to shoulder some of that load now, I'd imagine. Do you want to captain this footy club at some stage?
I think Toby's doing a fantastic job. I think as I said, he's been amazing to run out behind for a few years now. I think that captaincy question, I think it's more about our playing group. Who do they want to represent them? And I think that's currently Toby. Whoever they see that as being going forward, I think that's the right person for that job.
And what about this contest with the Bulldogs? We, as I said, we love it. We build it up every time. Is it real or manufactured?
No, I think it's real. I think, and again, in a moment like this, which is a really important game for both sides, there doesn't really need to be any extra motivation in a game like this. So there is a little bit of history there, and it's two really competitive teams that need to win this game for the rest of their season.
So you copped the fair cook at half-time, was what I heard, and actually might have lost the... I think he was mic'd up, Adam. For the next...
The Giants mic everything up. They've got a great social media team.
I think he might have done the horse. Lost the
we might have asked if there's any chance we could get some of it, and they said it's gone and never to be seen again.
Sometimes those motivation lasts 10 seconds, but obviously they must have had an impact going into the second half, or was it more the player-driven in that third quarter?
No, it was... Kingers doesn't often give out sprays like that. I think he's on the record as well as saying that he doesn't want to be giving those out all the time, and he doesn't. So when he does, it has great effect. And we definitely deserved that. We didn't have a great first half at all. The Swans were all over us, and given they'd beat us, I think 5 or 6 times in a row, it was really important that we responded. And I think, some timely words from King is there helped, as well as you're saying, Adam, a player-driven response.
Does he give you the disappointed dad look, or is it more verbal?
It was loud verbal. It was
okay.
The disappointed dad look he pulls out on occasion, but this one we deserved a little bit more.
So I've heard Adam talk about this. You say you've got 6 bullets throughout a course.
That might be too many these days, but...
So you've got to space them and you've got to save them.
There's probably one in a pre-season game that you normally don't turn up for, and there's one early in the year, and then there's one around now, and there's maybe one leading into finals.
But what happens when you get a response like he got on the back of it? You've come out and kicked 9 goals to 1. I mean, this must be the most heartening thing of all. I want to talk about Finn Callahan in a minute, but this says to you, OK, we have the capacity to respond when we need to most, when the game's on the line, and the coach has read the group really well, I would suggest. Yeah,
it's a combination of both of those. It's nice as a playing group to, I suppose, understand we have that capacity to put on a quarter like that against a really good opposition in Sydney. Again, we probably don't want to rely on having 9-goal quarters because they don't come every single week. So while it was really nice, we understand that, I suppose, if you look then into our last quarter where we were able to play some more consistent footy and sort of grind the game down a little bit more as well, we take great confidence in that also.
The ability to find a gear, though, having that in the back pocket now, knowing that potentially you could pull that out whenever you need to in the next 6 to 10 weeks, is something that's, I think, the good to great sides will get to. So having that understanding you can do that's important for you.
Yeah, 100%. It's important that, as you said, you pretty much articulated it perfectly, Adam, and I think it's why as well we like to know that now I suppose we can string sort of games together and get wins. Like I said, we don't want to rely on winning 6 in a row, but the fact that we can do that is nice. The fact that we can have a quarter like that is nice, but we don't want to have to rely on that stuff to get results.
It is great to have you in here. You've handled yourself magnificently. You're calling Adam, which is we like at Fox. We like a formal approach.
Mr. Simpson, maybe.
Simmo's okay.
Just having a look, are you going to the Bont tomorrow night? Where do you find yourself? No one plays on anyone through the midfield, but nominally. You just freewheel, you blokes.
Yeah, there is a fair bit of that. I think, honestly, you can't really run away from anyone in the Doggies midfield anyway. They've got so many good players rolling through there, and it is maybe the greatest challenge, with their midfield they've got. So it's a challenge that I'm really looking forward to. I know as a midfield group we are as well, and it's one that we're really, really excited to test ourselves against.
Outstanding, mate. You've presented beautifully. We appreciate you coming in on the eve of what is going to be a really big game. Can't wait to watch it unfold tomorrow night.
No problem, guys. Thank you very much for having me.
I like to call him lean, clean Tom Greene, because he's just so clean with the foot.
You're trying to make that stick, aren't you?
That's right. Let's move on. I wanted to throw to Craig McRae. Talked about Jack Silvani. I want to talk to you as a former senior coach, premiership coach. Is this the done thing or not?
Have you met with Jack Silvani?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and I'm confident to say that we'll keep exploring what the best version of us looks like, and when there's free agents available, we'll keep exploring those things.
Do you think you're a reasonable chance to get him at the end of the year?
Justin Lepich and Charlie Gardner do those things. I just met with a young man and worked out we had a first date and see if we liked each other.
And went on to say he's open to a second date.
Yeah, that's new a little bit. I'm not meeting the players. That happens all the time. But actually declaring that you have met something that it's creeping in. I've started with Sam Mitchell, obviously, with Oscar Allen early in the year, where I don't know if they tried to keep it quiet, but they didn't care if it got out. And obviously that's the way of the world. How do you feel about that?
Well, I'm getting used to the fact that it is the way it's going, and then you've got the NRL situation where they declare they're going half. That's the extreme end. Now this is a big, change from when we were playing, obviously.
What about when you were director of footy?
No, God, no.
I thought you were something at Melbourne, but obviously it happens, and people get approached all the time, and there's discussions, but the actual. When asked the questions, you can sort of dance around a little bit. So I suppose we appreciate the honesty.
What's it mean for him? What's it mean for Jack Silvani? How's he going to go?
I don't know what's going on behind closed doors too, with the politics of the two clubs and the relationships between people around Silvani. So that wouldn't be ideal if you're him, I suppose. Where, does it really matter? I suppose there's 3 or 4 games to go, and what happens the rest of this year is not going to dictate what he does. So
it's a tricky environment. I mean, you got the coning there with the speculation, season-long speculation about him going to St Kilda. They're trying to hold on, to Jack Silvani. Are they really trying to hold on to him?
Yeah.
They've got salary cap issues at the top end.
Graham Wright coming in.
Graham Wright's got his feet under the desk soon enough. So, and then you got, I don't blame Craig McRae. I mean, what's he going to do? Sit there and lie and say I haven't met?
Well, that's what we all used to do.
I know, but is that what did that used to achieve? I guess that's the bottom.
Well, we wouldn't be talking about it tonight. So it's great for the media and for everyone. But I think when you talk about these things, you think about the player. So I'd be thinking about Jack.
Right,
So I'm going, OK, if I bring this up, then Jack's got to walk in the club rooms tomorrow at Carlton and go, you met with Collingwood, did you? So that's what I'd be thinking, but that doesn't seem to be...
So the only difference is if he doesn't say it, the media would still talk about it, and then it'd be...
Yeah, there'd be speculation, but the locker room is still intact at the Blues, just like at West Coast. It just affected the locker room as much as all of us talking.
Just on contracts, John Newcomb's recommitted to the Hawthorn Footy Club on a big 6-year deal. So they've locked away one of their midfield stars. They're not right in the middle of doing massive deals, are they, the Hawks?
I haven't seen something this big for... Well, who's got the next biggest contract at Hawthorn?
Yeah.
I mean, what's his position at the moment?
Not sure.
Question without notice, but well deserved though.
Yeah. Is he the next captain of this football club?
Well, not knowing once again the locker room, he feels and plays like one, doesn't he? So. And we'll go through some leadership stuff on field later on with Melbourne and just what it means to be a captain, but also to be an on-field leader regardless of the title. I think he's one of those.
Well, well done for locking him away. And that game Friday night against Adelaide, a red-hot Adelaide Crows, is going to be outstanding. Going to take a break. John Longmire, your man, our man, is coming up next. We're going to talk all sorts of things, momentum, how we change things. It's our favourite segment. The 2 premiership coaches. I do know he's filthy that he didn't get asked to step up. You've had 2 co-hostings. He's had none.
Read the cues, horse.
He won't be happy. He joins us next.
Scores now. Marks it 40 metres out. How did that happen? And any score will give St Kilda the most extraordinary of victories. Wanganeen Miller, he kicks the goal. He's stood by the Saints. And St Kilda has conjured a miracle victory under the roof.
Now it's a free kick. Now it is a free kick. So Rowan Marshall will take it. Oh, he was quick. Wanganeen Miller takes the mark. There's the siren. He's been the talk of the Saints in 2025. Wanganeen Miller for the win. Indescribable drama at Marvel Stadium.
Here we go. 8 seconds left. Free kick to Rowan Marshall on the side. This is extraordinary. Shot to win the game for St Kilda. Here he comes, the 22-year-old. The AFL world at his feet.
Yeah, see if we can play it a couple more times. It'll be good. The magnificent quad call. Well done to everyone involved in that. It was a moment that, as a broadcaster, you want to be able to look back on and say, I was part of it. And he's in, well, there's no hotter person than Asai Wanganeen-Millera in football. That's on-field. Off-field, Adam Simpson's in rare air. He's here for the second time. And John Longmire, our Wednesday expert, joins us. He's kind of like the Wanganeen-Millera of the media world, Horse. He's taken over.
Yeah, spot on, Gaz. There's no question. That's absolutely spot on about that. I mean, you talked about the coaches, maybe a few coaches being nervous out there with Simmo looking around and lurking around there. But what about the TV hosts? They're the ones that need to be really worried. There's a few TV hosts around the place.
The door is being knocked on at the moment. I think Jared's just quickly got off his deathbed and said he needs to get back. You've been watching since 6:30. You got a little quick critique for him? Is he happy with his performance?
No, he's doing really well. Geez, he's coming along super. I just want you to make sure you check out the back there. Gaz, I mean, Jared might be tied up somewhere at the back there. Simmo's really going to town. He's doing a great job.
He's in his straps. Righto. So you're going to take us through momentum. There's a couple of games. Obviously, this one, which was the Melbourne one, you're going to talk us through that. But momentum in a game, it is it's irrepressible and hard to stop.
Yeah, we were talking during the week about on the weekend, no one could stop any of the momentum. So, and how do you assess it? So if you concede 3 goals or more in a row is how we did, and I think Horse might have been the same. So what does it actually look like in the box? It's been 3 in a row. Someone taps you on the shoulder and says, OK, that's 3. What are we doing? Yeah. And if you look at the stat on the screen there, that who's conceded 3 in a row, the least amount of time. So Adelaide sit at 14. That's a really good effort. And then you've got Collingwood, Geelong, Hawthorn, the Bulldogs. Yeah. At the other end, you got Richmond, West Coast. They're around 40 times they've conceded 3 goals in a row. So it's not a coaching thing per se. Sometimes it's talent, sometimes it's personnel. But these guys are obviously in a rhythm where, OK, that's 3 in a row. We need to do something. And talking to Horse during the week about presenting something to the players pre-season, it's a method. It involves the coach's box and on-field leadership. And sometimes it's structural, sometimes it's just a method. So we thought we'd go through some of the things that Horse and I would have educated the players on in recent times, Horse.
Yeah, I guess, as Simmo mentioned, we were the same about 3 goals. At the 3-goal mark, you generally start having those conversations. You're all in it together, the coaches and the players, and you've got to make sure that over the pre-season, during training, that, you've talked about it a lot and you've reviewed it a lot and you've worked on it a lot. But ultimately, when it gets down to what's happening, you break it up into 2 areas. What you can do in the coach's box, first and foremost, and the responsibility you've got to be able to help the players do their job. And, first of all, as a coach, you're sitting there and you're asking yourself the question, why is this happening? That's the number one thing. What's actually happening? Is it centre bounces? Is it turnovers? What's actually happening in the game at the moment that means the opposition have got momentum? The next part of it is best players in best positions. That might seem obvious, but sack the rotations at that particular point in time. Get your best players on the ground in the best possible positions to be able to influence the game. And do we need to change the structure? Those discussions are happening. Do you need to put one behind the ball? What do you need to do right now? But what you can't afford to do is dwell on that too much. I mean, after the 3 goals, that can quickly turn into 4 or 5 goals in a row. So you need to be able to, after you've had that discussion in the box and you've gone through all that very quickly, you need to be able to make a decision. And that's the next most important part in regards to what's actually happening on the ground.
So what happens then on field? So you're having all those discussions, you're asking those questions of each other in the box. What do you want to be seeing on field?
And a lot of this, Gazzy, as you appreciate, would be talked about and practiced during the pre-season, during the season. We often looked at what the opposition teams were doing, and sometimes it happened in a completely separate game, which was always valuable to look at. The number one thing is clear communication. That's from everyone, from the coach through to the runner to the coaches, on the bench to the players. A clear communication from the playing group is absolutely critical. And that's not just the senior players, that's every player. The first-year players are the same responsibilities. You've got to make sure you get the job done. You've got to be predictable. That doesn't mean safe, it just means predictable. Everyone playing their roles and doing the predictable thing at the predictable time in the game. Control over chaos. What you don't want to do is speed the ball up. You don't want the ball live in these situations. You're trying to take the sting out of the game. So you need to be able to control the ball. what you don't want to do is often you look up and you seem to look as a player and you think that player's free, and Simmo will go through a clip in a minute that he'll show that player looks free at the start, but that closes down very quickly. Deep inside forward 50 entries, you need to go deep and, if possible, to the boundary line to make sure that you give everyone time to set up, particularly if you've got an extra behind the ball. Protect the corridor. This is really important, particularly from the forwards. Those high half forwards and your blokes who can see the space, they need to be pushing right up the ground and protecting the corridor at all costs. And always, contest is king. You need to win the contest. Sometimes you can get everything right structurally, but you forget about the contest. You've got to be able to win your one-on-ones. Sensational.
I love it. I suspect now you're going to show us how that works in theory and how it breaks down.
Well, just to put this really out there, obviously, this worked sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, and I think some coaches out there do the opposite to that. They double down. They go, let's kick the next three. Let's not stop momentum. So this is just some of the things from a conservative nature. It's 3 in a row. We've lost control of the game. We need to do something about it. So you'll see there's two games we looked at. One was the GWS Sydney game in the start of the third quarter when there was a bit of chaos happening, and then it was 4 or 5 goals in a row. So Sydney decided to play an extra behind the play. So you see Lloyd come off as a winger, and you see a forward go to the wing position. Every competition around Australia does this, but what happens from this position here is, OK, you've got support. How do we get composure? How do we get some control in this game? Because we've got a spare in our back half, but we're also giving a spare up in GWS's back line as well. So Swans do a really good job of controlling here. No, less handballs, more spot kicks, take your time. Let's get some field position. And as you can see, Lloyd is the deepest player, but his direct opponent, per se, is at the back.
Yep.
So if you get the ball in the front half, you probably don't want to roll and go here. You want to take your time, get your deep entries like Horse spoke about.
How often does a player look ahead and aware of the fact that this is the mode that you've gone into?
If you just pause that for a second, I'll just... What the call's been made, a momentum call's been made. Right. So they know we've got an extra in our back line and we need to protect this. So if you let this play... So there was a missed kick there, which is probably against the rhythm of what we want to do. But this has worked. This has slowed down the game, hasn't it? So that ended up being a slow play and balls in the back half. What the Giants did is they said, we don't like that. We're going to counteract that with, this is the next goal. We're going to equalise.
Right.
So we had a big sign with E on it to say...
Nice.
Team's gone out. It was pretty... So there you see here, there's an equalise.
So you see, they won't have a spin.
Right now there's 7v7. Yep. So, and now you've got a Giants defender on a Sydney forward on the wing. So they're in different positions now. So it's a counteract move to what Coxie's done. Adam's decided we're going to equalise the game, and then you just see this players are out of position. They're playing in different roles. So now all of a sudden that backman who's playing on the wing has pushed himself forward, gets a shot on goal. So the Giants have reacted to what Dean's done, and then what's next, Horse? Sometimes you get a bit confused. Oh, that's not working now. Now what do we do? And that's what happened to Melbourne on the weekend. But Horse, you've gone through that before, where you've been matched in the box, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. We're not saying we know everything here, and plenty of times we've done things, both of us, that have, we've tried to stop momentum and it hasn't worked. And once that counter measure was made by Adam Kingsley in the other box, and then it's over to the coach again. You don't want to put another one back. But as we can see, and what Simmo will show in a minute, that can lead to a lot of confusion, particularly in the meantime if there's a goal kicked, what you do with a 6-6-6 rule.
So then you go to...
go to your favourite game. Yeah. The good thing is I'll be playing this quarter in every off-season for the next 20 years, if you ever tune in to Fox Footy. Have a look at the Melbourne game here. So you've got two inside mids who are a little bit, whether it's confused or not, but you don't want to give up the corridor. So they don't have opponents. They're two experienced players, but you got Hunter Clark and Sinclair in the corridor there, set up for some sort... Even if they lose the clearance, St Kilda, they can rebound through the corridor. You got Wood there as a winger who did this the whole last quarter. He just pushed forward the whole time and teased the opposition winger. Spoke about predictability. Go skinny. Yep. Go down the line, get another stoppage, give that handball. Tries to peel one off in the corridor, and it probably just shows there was a little bit of panic with not only the younger players but the leaders as well. Yeah. And we spoke about Hunter Clark and Sinclair. Well, there's Sinclair. They're getting his hands on the ball first, and this wasn't deliberate from Petrarca or Viney. It was more, let's win the ball, and you can see as this transition, there's sort of no one on anyone at the moment because of that structural setup. And there's an inside 50 here, and you got Viney in at that contest trying to support right at the ball. So he's working his backside off, but St Kilda hold their balance, the ball comes outside 50 and it comes back in, and Hunter Clark and Sinclair are still available for options. So this is a classic case of trying to do what's best for the team and perhaps go outside the ethos of what you're trying to do. So
the inclination is, I'll fix it, I'll go and get the footy.
I think that's the natural leadership, but it's one of the biggest things is play your role. So this last clip, if you just pause it now, there is 10 players inside St Kilda's forward line. So this is panic stations. Just put a winger behind the play, 2 forwards behind the play. It still doesn't work.
Yep.
So that's the one problem. The second problem is the 6-6-6 rule that went against Melbourne. It's because of this. Because as a coach, you send 2 or 3 players behind the play, it doesn't work. And then when you reset for the centre bounce, suddenly, am I meant to be back? Am I on the wing? And that's what happened. I think Viney got caught looking out on the wing and saying, there's no wingman there. So he goes out in the wing, not used to playing there. There's no one on ball. And then you get your disruption with the next play. So sometimes your structural setup will affect the 6-6-6 rule, which in the future I'm assuming they're going to drop the warning.
Yeah.
But that's, whenever you see that happening, quite often it's because of the team getting beaten has lost their way with their positioning.
So we'll move on. When you looked at that over and over and over, you're looking at that from a coaching point of view, or is that an on-field leader's point of view?
I don't think it's. I think Goody said, collectively we take responsibility, but working through how to reset after you've got numbers behind, that's something you probably don't practice a lot of.
Yeah. Quick, Horse, before we farewell you, Toby Greene, how do you manage Toby Greene in this situation? To star captain, leader, spiritual leader, and tomorrow night in a really important game, not going to be there. How do you handle that?
Yeah, whilst it's not ideal, Gaz, you've got the good and the challenge of him missing big games like tomorrow night. I'm on the record as saying, give me the competitor every day of the week that maybe steps over the line a little bit as Toby does. There are certainly occasions he does that. You try and work with him on that, but ultimately the competitors do push the boundaries, and a lot doesn't get spoken about the ones that don't compete at that level. Toby steps over the boundary line, he cops a lot of focus and a lot of attention, but I don't think you're going to change him a lot. I think he's already changed a fair bit and evolved a fair bit over the last couple of years, and I'd be saying, for the sake of pushing the boundary now and then, I'd take the good stuff that Toby gives me.
Righto, it's been a great joy to watch you two in action, particularly in the ad break, sort out who was going to do what at what time. So the combination's magnificent. Watch footy tomorrow night. Wouldn't be surprised if he's hosting, Horse. He's going that beautifully.
Good to see you again, Adam Waitley. I'll speak to you next weekend.
See you, mate. See you, mate.
Horse, John Longmire joining us as he does every Wednesday. Monday, the coaches are back with us. We've got a very nice little offering here. Chris Fagan, the premiership coach, and Justin Longmire is going to join him, the Fremantle coach, who's got his side going beautifully. So they will be along with the round 21 preview. Monday coaches, Chris Fagan, Justin Longmire. Oh, it's a blockbuster round of footy. Don't worry about that. Thursday night, the Dogs and Giants square off at Marvel Stadium. There's plenty in that one. Dogs season on the line. Adelaide Oval, Adelaide Crows, new premiership favourites taking on the Hawks. That's going to be one of the games of the year. And then maybe the game of the year. Shades of grand finals past. The Brisbane Lions come down to the MCG, the home of football, to take on the Collingwood Football Club. You'll see it right here on Fox Footy. Our commitment to football is unsurpassed, all 9 games. And I'll tell you what, tomorrow night's big for a number of reasons, Adam. We have got royalty here. The multi-channels of the coverage. It's the AFL Cultural Heritage Series. Now, getting ready for this one. I've got a Hindi call coming up. We are joined by Rajbir Ghuman. Welcome, Raj.
Thanks, Garry. Nice to meet you.
Lovely to see you. And over here, Harbir Singh.
Yep, that's it. Spot on.
Good to see you. You guys are going to call the footy. I can't believe it. Awesome. You've only been in the country how long? How many years?
9 years.
How did you fall in love with AFL footy?
I work on the live app, actually, so that's how I follow the footy and the game. Western Bulldogs is the team I follow, if I can share that.
Well, you can, but you're impartial always.
Always partial, yes.
And you're a doggy fan too?
Yes, I happen to be. There was no previous talk or anything, but we just happened to be on the same side. So, yeah, it's been great.
Favourite player?
Bontempelli and so on, yeah.
We'll go with Bontempelli.
Outside of the Bulldogs.
Yeah, especially what he's done now for the team now, so yeah.
Why did you find yourself following the Dogs?
Oh, well, the family that I moved into, they were all barracking for different teams, and then they said, oh, yeah, I have to pick up a team so that we can all sort of go around. So, yeah, left with no choice. So I went for Footscray Bulldogs because I used to live in that area. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Are you biased to the Bulldogs when you call? A bit like some of the commentators on the other channel?
Well, hopefully we don't show it, but I wouldn't say no.
Can we be honest?
Yes, my word.
Sometimes, yes.
How are the nerves?
It's hard to, you know.
Yeah, you can't be impartial all the time.
Yeah.
How are the nerves ahead of this big call on the weekend? Are you a bit nervous or not?
Yes, especially the platform that we got, I suppose.
Yeah.
We've done a few calls, so we're not new to it, but Fox Footy, that's a huge for us, KO and everything. So that's
Have you called together too often?
We have done that
Yes.
few in Hindi and Punjabi both. Yeah,
Who
a couple of
overtalks who? Who talks more?
Don't know.
So
I think she
share
does.
the-
I think she probably thinks I do. But
How big for the community, the Indian community, who it's massive here in the country, and I know the AFL's stated aim is to get the Indian participation involved. How big is it from that point of view?
yeah, it's huge at the moment. The fact that in the Australian culture as well, you want to be more integrated as well, and that's nothing better than to know footy as well. So definitely the interest is coming on, and a lot of people from our community are sort of joining that as well.
It is going to be massive. Channel 507 on Fox tomorrow night. You can tune in and hear your call, but we thought we'd get you in the mood tonight, just to get a bit of a trial run. Simmo said, let's get him to call. I said, OK. So let's
have to listen to the coach.
Yeah, I have to.
Well, you've got to listen to the coach. So let's go, Harbir, you can go first.
Yep.
You're going to call this magical moment of Nasiah Wangane Millera. It's coming up, and you're going to call it in Hindi for us.
Yep.
Here we go.
और ये यहाँ पे कोशिश करते हुए मैक्सवेल नहीं, लेकिन वहाँ पे क्लियर सुविधा मार्कस को मिली। मार्कस ने बाएं पाव से बहुत ही अच्छी की, वहाँ पे कोई मार्क ले पाता कि नहीं। नसाया ने बहुत ही बढ़िया मार्क लिया वहाँ पे दो खिलाड़ियों के बीच। उन्होंने मेलबर्न के दो खिलाड़ी थे, उनके बीच ये देखिए रॉस लायन कितने खुश दिखाई दे रहे हैं हमें, जो निश्चित तौर से बहुत ही बढ़िया कमबैक किया उन्होंने। और नसाया के हाथ में ये खेल है, वो कैसे किल्डा को बराबरी पर लेके आ सकते हैं। 90 अंक है इस समय मेलबर्न के, और क्या टर्न अराउंड किया वहाँ पे। ये देखिए दो जो रिप्ले देख रहे हैं उनमें वो देख सकते हैं कि कैसे दो खिलाड़ियों के बीच से मार्क लिया, और रॉस लायन की खुशी का कोई भी ठिकाना नहीं रहा वहाँ पे। और ये बढ़ते हुए यहाँ पे गोल करते हुए नसाया, बहुत ही अच्छी किक चाहिए होगी यहाँ पे, बहुत ही दबाव है उनके ऊपर। देखते हैं वो सीधी गोल कर पाते हैं कि नहीं, और ये टाइप होगी सीधी किक और कमाल का गोल है वहाँ पे, सेंटीमीटर परफेक्ट जिसको बोलते हैं, बिल्कुल बीचों बीच।
I tell you what.
I don't know if I can match that energy.
Have you got someone you aspire to be like? Have you got someone that you listen to call and you go, I'll take a bit of Gerard Whateley or a bit of Anthony Hudson?
Look, they're all very good. I don't think I can take anyone, but when we started off in 2013, Bruce McRae came on and Hamish McLaughlin's been great with us.
Good.
So, Bruce probably
that was
the greatest one.
Goosebump stuff.
Yeah.
Raj, you ready to go?
I think we'll see.
You're going to call the last moment, as much as it breaks my heart. Here we go.
Yeah. So you are Melbourne?
No, sadly, yes.
So 8 सेकंड रहते हुए गेम में, और गेम एक बार फिर से शुरू होता हुआ सेंटर से, और ये फ्री किक मिलती हुई सेंट किल्डा को, और क्या चाहिए था उनको, और एक बार फिर से नसाया का मार्क, क्या ज़बरदस्त मार्क लिया है। और ये जो डिफेंडर नौजवान खिलाड़ी हैं नसाया मिलर, इन्होंने बहुत बढ़िया मार्क लिया है, और जो अंक है अभी बिल्कुल बराबर है, 90 पे चल रहे हैं, और उन्होंने मार्क बिल्कुल ही बाउंड्री लाइन पे लिया है, 50 पे लिया है, और ये धीरे धीरे अपनी तरफ बढ़ेंगे। और रॉस लाइन हम फिर देख सकते हैं बहुत ज़्यादा खुश है, और दर्शक भी उतने ही उत्साहित है सेंट किल्डा के। नसाया वैंगनीला मिलेरा एक और बहुत बढ़िया मार्क लेते हुए, और धीरे धीरे कदम लेते हुए वो बढ़ते हुए 50 की तरफ, गोल पोस्ट की तरफ उनके कदम बढ़ते हुए। लगता है ये खेल वो जीत के जाएंगे यहाँ से। और ये किक नसाया की बहुत बढ़िया किक, बिल्कुल मार्क के उन्होंने लिया बीच में से, एक बार फिर से किक, बहुत बढ़िया किक।
Raj, magnificent work. Well done to both of you. The excitement levels are going through the roof. There used to be a caller of Rex Hunt. You've got a bit of Rexy Hunt about you, I think, which I love. Hey, well done. It is important. We want to continue to grow the game, and you guys are doing a magnificent job. So good luck tomorrow. 507's the place to be. You're going to have a massive audience, I know.
It's going to be a good clash.
Be tuning in. So good luck. We'll be watching.
Looking forward to
it.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. We go to the break. this is the game. Thursday night footy that you guys will be covering. It is one of our big games of the year. The Bulldogs, of course, have to win to keep their finals hopes alive. No one knows that. And there's history between these two clubs. Goes back a long, long way. So Thursday night footy, your offerings are there. In a 504 with our great calling team of Matthew Hill. Or you can go to 507 as well. Outstanding work. Time now for Bernie Vince with around 21 key odds.
Thursday night footy at Marvel Stadium. Plenty on the line in this one. I think the Dogs get this done. My only question mark is, though, their form against top 9 teams. They're 1-8, and obviously the Giants being in that top 8 does worry me slightly, but no Toby Greene makes me feel a little bit safer. Now, let's move into some same-game multi-space. I think the Dogs win this. Lachie Whitfield, he's averaging 34 in his last 5 v the Dogs. They don't put any time into him. And Sam Darcy, he loves Marvel Stadium. 20 goals in his last 5 games at the venue. See there, PointsBet will give you $5.25 for that. I think that's great value. You can find that plus a whole heap more on the PointsBet app. Have a great week.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Would you look at that? A Super Saturday Spectacular, live from 7 o'clock on Fox Footy. Collingwood and Brisbane at the MCG. First versus third.
What a night it is.
Anthony Hudson and Jared Waitley calling the action upstairs.
And that's the way we love it at the MCG.
With Garry Lyon and Jason Dunstall riding shotgun. 2 years on from that grand final. One for the ages. Nip and tuck from go to woe. A breathtaking exhibition of skill.
He kicks for Hill. Over the top. He went up the mountain and came down a hill.
But there could only be one.
The king to the close finish. And the king to the AFL.
These Lions wouldn't wait long to turn heartbreak into redemption.
From walking on thin ice to dancing on the mountaintop.
And here they go again. The last 2 premiers with their sights fixed on the 2025 crown. Fueled by rich family bloodlines. The 2 sons of the Macedonian marvel.
Here's the magician.
Josh and Nick can make the ball talk just like Dad did.
Unmistakably, unforgettably, Dacos. Dacosian.
And it's a double dose of Ashcroft for the Lions.
Strap the belt on, they're the champs still.
But the engine room is on notice.
It's all red. I've never seen that.
Little brother down the highway, shaking the foundations of this premiership defence.
How you reflect on it really is how you react next week and how you play next week. We've got a pretty hard game, Collingwood at the MCG. Now, I'm confident our group will respond. They normally do.
Collingwood and Brisbane shaping what's to come.
Brisbane and Collingwood just produce good footy.
2 very experienced teams, match winners everywhere. Live, right here on Fox Footy.
Weekend to savour. That will be massive. Let's finish the weekend picks thanks to PointsBet. Give us a round 21 headline, Adam, and finish as strongly as you started.
I've got Harley to sign a mega deal.
This week?
Yep.
You know something?
No, I don't.
Oh, jeez.
What have you got?
Thought you'd buried the lead there.
What have you got?
I've got Rossi misses with neck soreness. So Rossi Lyon, he had Nasiah up on the neck. He might be in a bit of trouble. What about a plot twist?
Well, he's told me this. Horse, the coach, Tassie. He's put his hand up.
Righto.
What's yours?
You'll appreciate that watching. Demons give away 12.66 fringe infringements on purpose, just to practice. I think that might happen. And your last dollar.
Well, it goes to the rest of the players at West Coast.
I like that. After Harley's opened up. My last dollar's going on Melbourne. I've lost everything else there. So we'll see if they can get up against the Eagles. Hey, well done. Short notice.
Yep.
Out goes Waitley and in you come. You've done an outstanding job.
Thanks for having me.
Enjoy the weekend. It is a big weekend of footy. And let's go now to first crack with Benjamin, Lee and David.